Welcome to ESPN College Football, presented by Sling TV. And welcome to Lafayette for 19th ranked Louisiana and the Eagles of Georgia Southern in a Sun Belt showdown. As the Ragin' Cajuns find themselves ranked in the top 20 and looking for their best start in over 30 years if they can get the win here today. I'm Beth Mullins along with Kirk Morrison and Dawn Davenport, and with all that's been happening in the world around us. Today at Cajun Field, Kirk, we've got a couple of senior quarterbacks looking to provide some comfort for their teams amidst the chaos.
How fitting they both wear number one, because they are number one for what their teams want to do. You look at Levi Lewis for Louisiana, the offense, it goes through the quarterback, one of the more prolific quarterbacks in all of college football. I look forward to watching him play, especially after the last couple weeks, outstanding play. But look, Georgia Southern, they've got a guy in Shy Works. Their offense is more of a running game. They don't throw the ball much, but when they do, they tend to be effective. But Shy Works can put this team on his back. They did it in their first game. See if he can do an encore in game number 2.
Louisiana in all red, Georgia Southern in the white with blue helmets. Chad Lunsford coming in at 1-0 and looking for a massive road win here. Billy Napier, well, the Ragin' Cajuns already have that big road win. They shocked Iowa State. They are 2-0 after an overtime win against Georgia State a week ago. And the opening kick, the fair catch out to the 25 for Georgia Southern. They've got some key cogs coming back this week, Dawn.
Yeah, after missing 33 players due to COVID or injury in their opener, that inactive list just 8 today, and that gives that modern triple option offense a little bit of a boost. Among those back, Wesley Kennedy led them in rushing yards and all-purpose yards last season. They need him to be a bell cow for them today. Wide receivers Darian Anderson and Emil Smith, they're back, along with tight end Bo Johnson. Guys, coaches said he might be the second most important guy for them behind their quarterback.
Yeah, more on that as we progress today. Of course, Georgia Southern working out of that gun option with Shy Wirtz. And they'll try to get around the left edge with Wesley Kennedy. So back in action, and the first touch right away for the senior from Savannah, who was their leading running back a year ago.
Yeah, look, it didn't take long. His 2020 debut, Wesley Kennedy, and he already gets the football. You see what this offense was missing in week 1 versus Campbell. It's that explosiveness that Wesley Kennedy presents to the outside.
Last couple of years under Chad Lunsford, they've run it about 75 to 80% of the time. When you talk to Shy, he says he'd love to prove that he can throw it a little bit more. We'll see if they want to or have to a little bit more today. Option right this time, and the pitch to J.D. King, the senior out of Fitzgerald, Georgia. He held down the fort when Kennedy was out, had 74 yards rushing and a touchdown in the win against Campbell.
That's what you're going to see. It's number 1, it's number 12, it's number 15. That's the Georgia Southern offense. It's those 3 guys, the primary ball carriers. But if you're Louisiana on defense, it's about staying home, staying disciplined, because you don't know where the football may go. You got to stay in your lane.
It's an experienced group up front, led by the left side of Brian Miller and Aaron Dowdell in front of Wirtz. They'll try the right side here in short yardage. And the spot looks like it's just inside the 49, good enough to move the chains for a first down.
Yeah, one thing that we got to look at for Louisiana, their defensive line, Taylon Humphrey, he's out. We're talking about a 6'5", 333-pound senior. He's out in the middle for Louisiana. Will Georgia Southern try to find a way to run the football up the middle where they're missing out on Humphrey?
Wirtz will throw on first down, and lunging to make the grab, and then unable to hang on to it was Kennedy. So a look at Shy Wirtz, who's worked a lot in the offseason to improve that run game and get a little bit more balance to this offensive attack. In fact, both these teams ran it real well. They were both top 10 in the country a year ago on the ground. That's their bread and butter. Wirtz will keep it. And Louisiana read it well, and then a penalty flag at the tail end of the play as Wirt's helmet appeared to have gotten ripped off.
Personal foul, face mask, defense number 24, 15-yard penalty, and an automatic first down. Number 1 may remain in the game because his helmet came off due to the foul.
That's on Braylon Trahan with the personal foul.
He did a tremendous job, that defensive line for Louisiana, but you can't hold on to the face mask. It's going to be interesting today. How does Louisiana handle the edges? Because that's where Shai works. That's where he gets his money at. It's on the outside. It's going through the sideline, putting some pressure on the perimeter of the defense.
Louisiana defensive coordinator Patrick Toney, when we talked to him yesterday, said that's the one thing. First and foremost, got to win the edge with Wirtz. We'll run it off the right side again for a couple. That is Matt Speedy LaRoche, the junior out of Venice, Florida. They may go 5 deep, as Don referenced just a few moments ago. We may see some of the freshman Jalen White as well as Logan Wright today. For this Georgia Southern offense, it's all about ball control, ball security, ball matriculation. As they try and move it deeper into Louisiana territory, the pitch, the stiff arm for J.D. King gets around the corner, out a couple of yards shy of that first down marker.
Bo Johnson, right? We talked about him, the tight end coming back, and this is the reason why you get excited if you're Georgia Southern, because your tight end's coming back. It's not because he's a big-time pass catcher, but on the last play, you see him getting out there on the edge, the 6'1", 225-pound redshirt freshman, leading the way for the run game. So you're excited about a tight end, but it's more so what he does in the blocking game in the pass catching.
On 3rd down and 1. They'll run it up the middle with J.D. King, and he's got it. Pushing his way down inside the 25.
Nice job by this offensive line. I mentioned earlier, Humphrey, number 99, the defensive lineman out for Louisiana. But watch the center and watch Johnson. Both of these guys coming up in the middle, making a nice little block, giving just a nice little lane for J.D. King, 5'11", 220 pounds. You give him a nice little alley like that, he'll lean forward for a first down every time.
Good first possession of the day for Georgia Southern. King again takes it in his belly, down inside the 20, so a red zone visit now for Georgia Southern. This would be big for them to start out with some points on their opening drive of the day. That hasn't happened very often for the Eagles in recent memory.
Yeah, they haven't opened up with a scoring touchdown on the opening drive in a very long time. That's probably something they've talked about all week long. They need to go out and find a way to get this ball in the end zone.
In fact, that last scoring drive against Louisiana 3 years ago. The Raging Cajun defense stiffens. Good job by Cam Badesclo to take care of Kennedy, so it's another 3rd down and short.
Bob, but this is more of a crucial down, 3rd and 2. We call it 3rd and short. You can still run the football, but also this is 4th down territory. So if you run it here and you don't get it, then you can go for it on 4th down. I wouldn't be surprised if I put this thing in the air. Why not take a shot at the end zone knowing you have an opportunity if it does come to 4th and 2?
10th play of the drive, and they're looking to keep it alive. Wirtz on the rollout, looking to throw, heaves it into the end zone, incomplete. The Raging Cajuns had it covered, and it's 4th down.
No, that's the play call. The reason why they passed it there, because they knew they were going for it on 4th down. That's the reason. Take a shot at the end zone. You've already done your work on 1st and 2nd down. 3rd and short, you've earned the opportunity to take it for a shot at the end zone. They're going for it on 4th down here. I would go with the same play. Keep the ball in Shai Wirt's hands. Find number 1, the quarterback, if you're Louisiana.
Couple of tight ends along that front line. King and right in the backfield here on 4th down. Wirtz keeps it, and he's got it. Works his way down to the 11-yard line, and a 1st down for Georgia Southern.
You know, defensively, you always got to wonder, what is the gotta have it play? If you're Georgia, what is Georgia Southern's gotta have it play? The gotta have it is number one, Shy Wirtz. The ball is going to be in his hands on 4th down that time, just reading the defense, finding a crease, and leaning for a 1st down.
Wright and King will stay in the backfield as they bunch a couple of tight ends to the right side of the line. Wirtz able to handle the low snap. King avoids the strip and works his way down to the 6-yard line.
This is an impressive drive, Beth, to start the game for Georgia Southern. It's been a little bit of mix of run out to the outside, more so on the inside, on the interior of this offensive line. But now you get down here, things are nice and constricted now. So how do you find the open space? How do you get to the outside? This is where Shy Wirtz comes to life inside the 10-yard line.
13th play of this drive that's covered 63 yards so far. Down to the 4-yard line for Logan Wright, the junior out of Jacksonville, with his 10th carry of the season.
I think you got to mention, too, that Louisiana also has linebacker Joe Dillon out, safety Cameron Solomon out. So if you're Louisiana, you still got to find some tackling. You got to find a way to, what we call, bow your neck down here. They're bringing in the big boy package for Georgia Southern. Same thing on Louisiana side. I'm still looking to the wide side of the field where Shy Wirtz likes to work.
Carter and Murray, the receivers, and before the snap, a timeout for Louisiana.
Timeout, Louisiana. They're first.
We'll take it with them. Impressive first drive for Georgia Southern. Can they cap it off with 7?
You're watching the Marathon Conference Kickoff.
Welcome back to ESPN College Football, presented by Sling TV as part of Marathon Conference Kickoff. Opening drive for Georgia Southern. They've converted a big 3rd down and then a 4th down to keep the drive alive. Here comes the 14th play. And a 3rd and a couple. Wirtz from inside the 5, options left, the pitch to J.D. King, caught behind the line, able to dive forward, and it's going to be close. Let's see where the knee went down. The mark will be just short, 4th down.
It's a great job, 33, Tyler Guidry. He's the outside linebacker. Did a good job of feathering the quarterback. When I say feathering the quarterback, is that he made sure that Shy Wirtz pitched that football. He didn't go straight for the ball carrier. He went for the quarterback, which forced that pitch very late. Louisiana rallied.
On 4th and short, Wirtz follows Bo Johnson, looking to try to get to the right edge, and he's cut down behind the line. And a big stop for the Lafayette defense. Cam Podesclo got him back around the 10.
That's great team defense. Great team defense. You're talking about guys understanding your lanes. Where do you fit? Gardner to the outside, but coming to clean up, number 0, Cam Podesclo.
ESPN College Football is presented by Sling TV, the smart choice for live TV, and in part by Ace, the helpful place.
Welcome back to Lafayette. Scoreless here early on, and a big 4th down stop for the Louisiana defense. Beth Mullins along with Kirk Morrison. We've got Dawn Davenport for us as well. We knew both these offenses were going to be able to move the football, Kirk, but it's the defense for the Raging Cajuns that gets the first big play.
You talk about stepping up in a big way. It's the Louisiana defense handling their business inside the 5-yard line. I want you to take a look at Farrard Gardner. He's number 7. He's the outside linebacker on this 4th down play. His eyes are on Shai Wertz. 4th down, I mentioned it. Who's going to keep the football? It's the quarterback. But it's Farrard Gardner staying home, staying in his lane, forcing Shai Wertz to get to the outside. And once he's out there, there's nobody else to go. It's Cam Podesclaw, number 0, cleaning it up. It was a job well done. Great team defense by Louisiana down near the goal line.
That stopped a 15-play drive that lasted for over 8 minutes for Georgia Southern, but they come up empty. And now it is the other senior quarterback, Levi Lewis, out there from nearby Baton Rouge, who's running the show for the Raging Cajuns, who have scored over 30 points in each of their first couple of games to get out to the 2-0 start. And a first down throw here. Let's take a look at today's player spotlight, brought to you by Samsung QLED TV. And it's Levi Lewis. Those 38 pass touchdowns, 4th best in school history. He's the first UL quarterback with over 3,000 yards. And he's certainly going to go down if he stays healthy throughout this season, and the success that Louisiana has in front of them if he's running the show to put up some of the best numbers in school history.
You know, Beth, watching him over the first 2 games, it's been fun. It's been interesting watching a guy who makes great decisions with the football. He knows when to throw it. He knows when to run it. But it's been his patience at the line of scrimmage getting his offense into the right play.
Raging Cajuns are absent some key players today. Trey Regis and Chris Smith are the guys that will handle the bulk of the load in the backfield without star running back Elijah Mitchell. Out for COVID-related reasons, one of 7 starters that won't be on the field today for Louisiana, and a terrific second effort after the catch out across the 45 for a first down for Peter LeBlanc. Here's what they're missing without Elijah Mitchell today.
Yeah, that's 2,500 plus yards. You see the touchdowns, but he's a guy that last week sealed the game for Louisiana.
Incomplete. Trying the receiver screen to the near side. Yeah, Mitchell was the offensive player of the week in the Sun Belt this past week. Let's check in with Dawn Davenport.
Yeah, Elijah Mitchell, a guy that Levi Lewis told me is so electric, he would find himself stopping to admire his runs in the middle of the game. That being said, though, this staff feels great about their depth behind him. So you're going to get a heavy dose of Trey Regis, but they feel they can go 4 deep here to help fill those shoes.
They are also without a starting receiver, Dante Fleming, and their starting right tackle, Max Mitchell, which could be significant considering Lewis is a lefty. So that would be his blind side all day to find his receiver, Devin Pauley, downfield inside the 20-yard line, and a first down for the Raging Cajuns.
I keep talking about the calmness, how cool this quarterback, Levi Lewis, is. He just takes a snap from center, but watch 47 from Georgia Southern. Randy Wade, he comes in and just an easy side step to the left, keeps his eyes downfield and delivers a strike for a first down. That's what I talk about watching Levi Lewis throw the football. Great decision making, but also calm and cool in the pocket.
Chris Lewis will get the carry, a nice stutter step to pick up a few yards down to the 16-yard line. Chris, the sophomore, had that electrifying kick return for a touchdown in the Iowa State upset, 95 yards. And he also had a touchdown catch in their Georgia State win, so one of the more versatile athletes on the team.
I call him Mr. Home Run. He had an 80-yard touchdown a year ago, rushing touchdown versus Troy. You just put the ball in Chris Smith's hands, and he'll find the end zone. You just got to get it to him.
Lacey is the motion man. Terrific protection. The pass into the end zone, incomplete. looking for his tight end, Hunter Bergeron. Outstanding job by that offensive line, giving him the time.
Yeah, you mentioned it a little bit earlier, though. When you think about some of the guys who are out in right tackle, Max Mitchell, and you mentioned it's a left-handed quarterback. So when you hear right tackle is out, with a left-handed quarterback, that's the blind side. So we may see more of this empty formation from Louisiana just so Levi Lewis can see the rush, see what's in front of him, and let him make some decisions to go with the football.
They do have the advantage of having a couple of games under their belt, as opposed to the one for Georgia Southern, who they were off last week after their game got postponed, as Smith takes it to the 15-yard line.
Smith.
And that's going to be a fourth down, and this has been a dicey situation all season for Louisiana, the kicking game. And we've got an injured player down on the field. That's Javon Jackson, one of their defensive backs. He was filling in for Kendrick Duncan, who is still out after off-season surgery. So they're going to have to go to the third man on that list at safety. Back in a moment. So upon further consideration, it looks like the Raging Cajuns will reverse course and go for it here on fourth down. With a kicker who is just 1 for 4 on the season. From the 15, 4th and 5. Lewis, the slant broken up, incomplete, and Georgia Southern gets a red zone stop. On the breakup by Derek Canteen, and an injured Raging Cajun on the play.
By number 13, Derek Canteen.
I think that was the receiver, Kyron Lacey, who may still be down, but number 13, Derek Canteen, he's the redshirt freshman. Remember, made his first start, his collegiate debut in week 1 versus Campbell. And trust me, he could have had a better first half, but he calmed down, and you see just the experience of one game for Canteen there, playing on the outside, waited for the ball to be delivered, got a hand in. Terrific play by the redshirt freshman.
So a couple of long drives for the two offenses, stopped short on fourth downs. And Kyron Lacey, the freshman from Thibodaux, Louisiana, is the player that the athletic training staff is out there taking a look at. Of course, so much adversity for every college football team to face with dealing with the COVID-19 on top of your regular early season injuries and things of that nature. This is the list that is out today. Most of those COVID-related issues, although Washington and Fleming sidelined with injuries.
You know, it's difficult for coaches as well, right?
Yeah.
They're trying to put a game plan together. Obviously, they want what's best for the players. The health of the players always come first, but it's obviously something that Coach Napier, Coach Lunsford, each week is you kind of roll with what you got.
So after the fourth down stop, 1st and 10, Wirtz looking to throw it deep. He's got a man open at the 40, catching it in stride. And down close to the 20-yard line. Wesley Kennedy out of the backfield. 62 yards, Kurt.
This was one of the plays I asked last night. Remember, talking to defensive coordinator Patrick Toney, and the one thing I said was, what happened on the wheel route? He said he didn't want to talk about it. Well, that's one thing that they didn't get fixed from last week. Farrard Garner is supposed to have Wesley Kennedy on that throwback. He doesn't have the coverage, and you see the big play. Georgia Southern watching film, attacking Louisiana where they were beat at last week.
Back to the full backfield on 1st down. A good stiff arm to get around the corner. The cutback at the 5. And the touchdown for Georgia Southern and Matt LaRoche. And now they're going to say he stepped out of bounds at the 10 on the cutback. And that will take the 6 points off the board and set up a 1st and goal here for the Eagles.
Yeah, that was all Matt LaRoche. Just to watch the stiff arm, the right hand. He's got the ball in his hand. He stiff arms, gets to the outside, tried to tightrope
right there.
That sideline, but I think that left foot just got out of bounds.
1st and goal. King off that strong left side behind Miller and Dowdell. And down inside the 5 to the 4.
We talked about it a lot this week, right? That Georgia Southern, they want to throw when they want to and not when they have to. That was an opportunity a little bit earlier, a couple plays ago, of throwing the football because they wanted to. And look what it does. It sets up the offense inside the 10-yard line now, but it opens up the entire playbook for them.
King stuffed around the 2-yard line. Well, so far they've done what they've wanted to do. They've had the ball control, time of possession dominant. They've had the ball security, kept control of it. They've had the matriculation. They've already got 134 yards of total offense here in the 1st quarter. The one thing they have not had is the big play to punch it in, and they've got another chance here on 3rd and goal.
And that's the reason why is this Louisiana defense. They tend to stiffen up down here inside the 5-yard line, but I always said, who do you have to keep your eyes on? It's the quarterback, Shy Wirtz, number 1. Make sure to keep him contained inside the 5.
They will go ahead and let the clock wind down to the... As Wayne Winkler just told us, the end of the 1st, scoreless, but Georgia Southern hoping to fix that. Scoreless to start the 2nd quarter. Georgia Southern, its 2nd deep drive and a big 3rd down call here, Kirk.
Yeah, you got the wide side of the field open. Remember, ball's on the left hash. So as a defender, what do you want to defend? You want to defend the wide side of the field. I think you still got to go dive here up the middle.
Averaging close to 5 yards per carry. And that's exactly what they'll do. And look at the legs churning for J.D. King to extend that run and into the end zone for the touchdown.
It's a great surge up front by the offensive line. And I mentioned it earlier, Taylon Humphrey, the 333-pound senior defensive lineman for Louisiana, he is out this game. Georgia Southern is aware of it, and they attacked right in the teeth of that defense. Great play call down here, allowing J.D. King, 5'11", 220-pound transfer from Oklahoma State to plunge it in.
Terrific running back by committee through that 1st quarter and now on this drive as we take a look at our drive recap brought to you by Goodyear. The first big play was Kennedy on the wheel route and then King to finish.
Yeah, it was King to finish, but it was set up like you mentioned. That's the big play that they need. What does that do for the Georgia Southern offense? It gives you a plethora of plays, whether it's to the outside, the inside. But you go back to your bread and butter when you're inside the 5-yard line. You hand it to the big 220-pound J.D. Kennedy, lean in, and after that, you get a chance to play the guitar.
Guitar hero down there.
Oh, I see. Some little Led Zeppelin going, get Metallica, whatever you want. You can play it all.
Look at Morrison bringing the metal. I like it. Well, we talked at the top of the show, Kirk, about the 2 senior quarterbacks, the poise, the decision-making. We saw it from both guys in that 1st quarter and capped off by another impressive drive for Georgia Southern. 138 yards of total offense so far, and they have held Levi Lewis and Louisiana to just the 1 possession.
Yeah, you talk about a team that's kind of determined. This is a brand new team. So I'm watching Georgia Southern week 1 versus Campbell, understanding that they didn't play a game last week. So they had to look at themselves and self-scout, and you get a bunch of guys back. This is a much different team that started the season.
Trey Regis hit around the 17-yard line on the kickoff return. We got a studio update right now. Here's Kevin Connors.
All right, Beth, it's brought to you by Rocket Mortgage. Start of the Lane Kiffin era at Ole Miss. Welcome back to the SEC, huh? You get number 5 Florida, but check out this start. Matt Corral, 46 yards to Dontario Drummond. Corral 4 of 6 for 88 yards on the drive. Florida is driving right now. 7-7 game over on ESPN.
Thank you, Kevin. Boy, the addition of Lane Kiffin and Mike Leach to the state of Mississippi and the SEC is going to make things really interesting.
Yeah. Remember Lane Kiffin, my former head coach in the NFL with the Oakland Raiders. So I've always been a big Lane fan.
Back in the SEC, and of course from the Florida side, a lot of folks like the Gators coming out of the East this year to possibly contend for that SEC championship in December.
Yeah, early on we always say that, but it's always that dark horse team in the SEC that comes out of nowhere. Last year it was LSU. We'll see what the Georgia Bulldogs may have to say about that SEC East.
Well, it's good to have the SEC back their opening weekend, and great news for the Big Ten, the Mountain West, and the MAC. They're all coming back as well in October and November. And nowhere for Levi to go with that throw as the pursuit was coming.
We've seen some number zeros make some big plays early on, right? This year we can see a guy wear number 0. That time on the last play, Raymond Johnson, number 0, fighting his way through. And this is what you actually want to do, is flush Levi Lewis where? To this opposite side. You want to get him and flush him to the outside where there's nobody around. Make him have to either eat the football or take a sack.
And now Lewis looking at a 3rd and 7. Out of that empty set again. He's got time across the middle. First down out to the 32-yard line, and Devin Pauley.
Number 80, Devin Pauley.
You know, there are certain plays that you laugh at throughout the game, and talking to the offensive coordinator Rob Sale, there's just that 12 to 15 yards, 2 to 3 yards outside of the hash marks or inside the hash marks. Just depends on where the ball is lined up at. That is the throw for Levi Lewis. He does it every single game, and that time he converted for a first down.
4 for 8 for Lewis, 69 yards on the afternoon. They'll run it with Chris Smith, breaking tackles and out into the clear. One man to beat and tripped up at the Georgia Southern 30-yard line. Touchdown saving tackle by Anthony Wilson.
Oh, look at the block. Number 51, Zach Robertson. It's the left tackle. Watch the seal. He gets a nice little seal, and that's all you need. We talked about Smith, the home run ability. I call him a home run player for a reason. You give him that much room, it's always going to be a big play.
36 yards on that scamper for Chris. First down from just outside the 30. More of Smith. Dancing and darting his way down inside the 20, and a second trip to the red zone for Louisiana.
And now Chris Smith is just showing out now. That's just showing the ability. We talked about the home run ability, but now showing some wiggle as well. And remember, it's a little warm out here.
He might be limping a little bit as he comes to the sideline. Remember, they are without their other main guy in the backfield, Elijah Mitchell, and Chris Smith is headed into the tent on the sideline as Lewis finds a receiver out in the flat and down to the 10-yard line. Johnny Lumpkin on the catch. And deeper down that roster they go in the backfield.
Yeah, same with the tight end. That's the second catch by a tight end this season for Louisiana. So now the running back, we'll look at that depth chart as the game goes along. But where will they get the production? We saw Kyron Lacey earlier go out the wide receiver and find some production here down here in the red zone.
This is the true freshman, Amani Bailey out of Denton, Texas. Stays on his feet just shy of the 10-yard line.
Rolling on field, the run was down before the ball was fumbled.
So now they're looking at a 3rd and 3. And they will empty the backfield here for Levi. 4 receivers. They've been stopped once deep in Georgia Southern territory already today. And the give up the middle, whistles as Regis makes his way to the end zone. But
prior to the snap, the replay booth initiated a review of the last play. The ruling on the field was the runner was down before the ball was fumbled. It's under further review.
All righty. Let's take another look. It happened late in the play. There's a lot of Louisiana fans here a little upset because that play would have gave them a first down in terms of the one that was not allowed to be ran. Let's take a look at what happened, though, on the play before.
Ruling on the field was the knee was down before the ball popped out. That was the freshman Amani Bailey, 3rd on the depth chart. He keeps his feet there, nothing down until right there, which would be his backside. But it's hard to see where exactly the ball was.
Just from the look so far, and it's just my quick thoughts on this is pretty much I don't see anything conclusive, right? There's a lot of bodies going around. I don't see the ball coming loose at all before he hits the ground. Nothing definitive, I should say. I think they'll stand with the call on the field that the runner was down. Should be no fumble.
After video review, the ruling on the field is confirmed. The runner was down before the ball was fumbled.
All right, so Louisiana will keep it, and they will have another 3rd down and 3. And down on the sideline, that is unfortunate news for Louisiana and Chris Smith being carted back to the locker room after getting hurt a couple plays ago.
So now you're down to Trey Regis, the freshman Imani Bailey, and we thought we possibly would see TJ Wisham, more of a special teams guy, but had to add him on my depth chart as well. So the depth at running back being tested early for Louisiana.
This was one of the best running teams in the country a year ago. They will try on the ground here, and they will come up short, and it's 4th down.
Interesting play call here right now because you went for it in your opening drive on 4th down and you didn't get it. You don't get points here. We're talking about a big momentum swing for Georgia Southern. They've been on fire offensively. Can they get another stop here on defense?
Trey Regis in the backfield. Movement up front from Georgia Southern.
Offside. Defense number 32 made contact with an offensive player. That 5-yard penalty results in a first down.
That's on Chris Harris, and that's a costly one for the Eagles.
Well, they weren't going to run a play. They were just trying to get up there for that reason. I expect more from a senior in Chris Harris, like you mentioned. You may get a freshman, a sophomore, but a senior to make that mistake down here. They weren't going to run a play, Louisiana was. They weren't going to run a play. And now they got a free first down.
Couple of tight ends along the front line. Regis is the back behind Lewis. And they'll keep the first down, but they'll give the yardage back.
Offense number 54. 5-yard penalty, still first down.
Well, we got a good matchup for you on Saturday Night Football tonight on ABC. De'Aaron King and the 12th-ranked Miami Hurricanes hosting Florida State down at Hard Rock Stadium. 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific on ABC and the ESPN app. We can expect a close one. It's been within a score in 16 of the last 19 matchups between those two teams. Regis with room. And with 6. Touchdown, Louisiana.
The result of the play is Louisiana!
Watch the right guard, number 58, Osiris Torrance. Just watch the block. Just watch. He gets off and seals. Come on, man. You could drive a Mack truck through that lane right there. Outstanding job by the sophomore from Greensburg, Louisiana, Osiris Torrance, creating a nice little lane for Trey Regis for a touchdown.
All even at 7 apiece as Regis ties it up with a 10-yard run. All even at 7 apiece, a 9-play drive covering 83 yards. And Trey Regis able to take it in. They got some help by an offside call on a 4th down to help keep their drive alive. The other news was the injury to Chris Smith, who was carted off to the locker room. And they're already without Elijah Mitchell today, so Regis and the youngsters may have to carry the load the rest of the way. This is Wesley Kennedy on the return, cut down around the 15-yard line. Good job by the special teamers for Louisiana. How about an update with Kevin Connors?
Hi, Beth. We showed you Matt Corral getting off to a terrific start in the Lane Kiffin era in Oxford. 46 yards to Dontario Drummond, and then 14 yards, that same combination again. 14-14 over on ESPN. Auburn, Kentucky, lone ranked matchup in the SEC today. DJ Williams, 1-yard touchdown run. They went for 2 and got it. 8-7 over on the SEC network. Auburn is leading. Meantime, Spencer Rattler sparkled in his debut. He was picked on the opening drive of this game. That's his lone incompletion. This one, a touchdown pass to Drake Stoops, son of Bob Stoops. Oklahoma in front, Beth.
Well, some of the big names in action again today. Spencer Rattler, the latest in that line of one-year quarterbacks that have been so good for the Sooners. The other score update, by the way, for Ragin' Cajun and Eagles fans, Appalachian State, a loser last week to Marshall, trailing Campbell right now in the first half. So they were the preseason favorites in the Sun Belt, winning the last 2 championships, beating Louisiana. But this week, according to the ESPN Football Power Index, Louisiana is now the favorite to win the conference. And with that comes some expectations.
That means all eyes are on you, especially in college football right now. But I got to give a shout out to Campbell. I mean, their opening schedule has been all against the Sun Belt, and they've definitely held their own so far, maybe trying to get a bid to get in this Sun Belt conference.
Georgia Southern, meanwhile, would love to spoil that Ragin' Cajun party. And a program that Chad Lunsford, he took over on an interim basis a couple of years ago. And this very proud program, 6 national championships in FCS. They had a couple of back-to-back losing seasons, and Lunsford has changed that course. They've got 17 wins over the last couple of years, and they've beaten App State twice. So this is a team that's on the rise. What a big statement it would be for them if they can come on the road and grab the upset. Got a big spot coming up right here. And they've got the first down.
Yeah, you mentioned it, just the culture, right? Coach Lunsford was here before, back in the 2003 or 2006, I would say, the early years, when it still was an FCS program, Georgia Southern. And now, being a head coach now, watching to where the program is kind of sort of taken off. I say that just because of the guys they have in the NFL now. They're bringing in NFL caliber talent at Georgia Southern.
Play action, looking for the deep ball. Wirtz on the post route, incomplete. Good coverage downfield. That was Trey Amos. Well, that talent isn't just on the offensive or the defensive side of the football. That talent is also in special teams, and they got some big legs coming out of Georgia Southern and Statesboro.
Oh, they do. Youngway Coop, the current kicker for the Atlanta Falcons. Tyler Bass, he's got a big game. He'll be kicking in on Sunday. He's kicker for the Buffalo Bills, playing against the 2-0 Los Angeles Rams. So he's hefty duty on the back of Tyler Bass on Sunday.
Good starts for those two. Good starts for the newly minted Las Vegas Raiders, as well as Kyler Murray and the Arizona Cardinals out to the hot 2-0 start. I'm sure they'll be talking a lot about it on Sunday NFL Countdown. Also, there's that little something going on Monday Night Football with Patrick Mahomes and Lamar Jackson. Also got a one-on-one interview with Russell Wilson. Kick off your Sunday morning with NFL Countdown at 10 Eastern on ESPN.
Cowboys and Seahawks as well. Another sneaky good game on Sunday, but here we are here, a third down situation, and this is where Georgia Southern does not want to be. They don't want to be in third and long. They're 3 of 5 so far on third down today, but this is long yardage.
Out into the flat, and they're looking for Wright to make a play. And he gets out of bounds outside the 35, and that's good enough to move the chains for Logan Wright.
Nice play call there by offensive coordinator Bob DeBest. It was in the 3rd and medium. So when you get in the 3rd and medium, you can get rid of the football quickly. You don't have to stare down or have to stand in the pocket for too long. Shai Wertz is at his best when he's able to get the football and deliver it right away. Nice pass on target to the outside to Wright, converted for a first down.
These two senior quarterbacks are leading their teams. How about 6 yards of play for Georgia Southern, 8 yards of play for Louisiana so far in this first half? And the defense heard us talking about them, so they'll step up and make a play. A little extracurricular there on the tail end.
This defense is deep for Louisiana, though. They play a ton of guys, and you've seen there's been some injuries that has forced them to play a lot of players. But I just think they have so much talent that the rotations are going to occur, whether it's at the linebacker level, the corners, safeties, and especially along that defensive front with Humphrey out, seeing a lot of Narcisse and Jaquan Jackson.
Gun option on second down. Another low snap. Wertz able to handle it. Good little shake and bake. Out across the 45-yard line for Kennedy.
Wesley Kennedy, the third.
Wesley in his return to the lineup is third carry for 18 yards. He and King and LaRoche have been sharing duties today.
Well, we know Wesley Kennedy won't be on the play count, right? I know it's his 2020 debut, and you would think, how many plays will he play? And Coach Lunsford said, don't worry about it. He's going to be out there until he says, okay, Coach, I can't go anymore. So first game for Kennedy, going to be out there a lot today.
Wertz will keep it across midfield, down inside the 45-yard line of Louisiana. For Shai Wertz, his third carry. He's 2 for 5 throwing the football so far in this first half.
So when you gain 8 yards on first down, this is where Louisiana defensively be on your toes, because you did your work on first down, Georgia Southern. It's where you are able to take a shot at the end zone.
King, first down to the 41-yard line.
Result of the plays, first down for Georgia Southern.
It's the tempo, it's the pace of Georgia Southern. This is what they want to do. Run the football, bleed the clock, bleed the play clock. And they want to keep Levi Lewis and that offense, that explosive offense of Louisiana on the sideline. This is all part of the game plan for Georgia Southern.
They want to extend that advantage with the time of possession. They have held Louisiana to just a couple of touches of the football so far in this first half. Wertz trying to be patient, waiting for a hold, does not show up. Zion Hill leading the way up front.
But you don't want to get lulled to sleep, and that's what happens sometimes. You start thinking of run, and all of a sudden, that's where Georgia Southern hits you with the deep strike down the field. But they're going to divvy up these carries. All right, it's going to be King. It's going to be Kennedy, LaRoche, Wertz, Wright. Everybody's going to touch the football today.
5 different guys have carried it so far. Flags coming from the secondary.
Legal substitution. The offense had 12 players in the formation. 5-yard penalty. Still second down.
Got to get a coach upset real quick. The illegal substitutions, but that's what happened in the first game, in the first half. early on, you get those types of penalties, that's not on anybody else but yourself, the offense. Listen to the play call, listen to who's in the game. Don't shoot yourself in the foot early on.
Well, it has been very clean so far for Georgia Southern. When you consider in a lot of ways, this is almost like their opener. Now, they did play Campbell a couple of weeks ago, but a third of the team was out.
Right.
And then they had their game last week postponed against Florida Atlantic. So for a lot of the guys playing together out there for the first time this year.
Yeah, I'm wondering if Coach Lunsford was trying to get a timeout, seeing that he had 12 guys out there, was trying to get the timeout before the official threw the flag. But once you get 12 guys in a formation, they're automatic.
Timeout. Georgia Southern, they're first.
He'll go ahead and use that timeout anyways off of the penalty to talk with his guys. All even 7 apiece. 2:46 to go here in the first half.
Kevin Connors in the studio. Coming up on the Nissan halftime report. Welcome back, SEC. 7 games on the schedule. We'll check out the early action. We'll get you caught up to speed on the ranked matchup going on in the ACC in Pittsburgh. Plus, how exactly does LSU follow up a national championship season? We'll explore that with Coach Jim Mora when you join us coming up on the Nissan halftime report. Beth?
Thank you, Kevin. I'm sure Coach Morrow will be talking about how you're going to do that with only 5 starters coming back. And a new quarterback and a new running back. We are all even at 7 apiece. Number 19, Louisiana's only had the ball a couple of times in the first half. It's all about time of possession. And ground and pound so far for Georgia Southern. Wirtz thinking about airing it out. And now we'll try some fancy footwork, dancing down the near sideline to step out of bounds at the 44. Got a couple of yards back. And it's going to be 3rd and about 15.
Yeah, nice coverage there by Louisiana. Everybody's staying on their man. Me and you talked about this a little bit, about plastering wide receivers. That means that anybody who is in your zone, you just guard them once Shy Wirtz gets out of the pocket. But it does preserve a 3rd down situation where Wirtz did not force anything down the field. Take what you can get and step out of bounds.
Louisiana, they're second.
Louisiana will take the timeout here. 2:22 to go in the half. Before the game here in Lafayette, Louisiana honored the life and legacy of assistant coach DJ Looney, who passed away in August suffering a heart attack during team workouts right here at Cajun Field. The offensive line coach was just 31 years of age in his 3rd season here at Louisiana after a playing career at Mississippi State. He was changing the lives and careers of young men here at Louisiana, sending a couple of guys off to the NFL draft this past season. DJ Looney remembered today in their first home game since his passing. And the defense for the Ragin' Cajuns comes up with the 3rd down stop with under 2.5 to go here before the intermission.
Yeah, got a player down. Looks like number 10, Andre Jones. Defensive end, a converted outside linebacker, but it was his pursuit of Shy Wirtz that forced that errant throw. An outstanding job of Jones just running and just trying to get to Shy Wirtz. Outstanding play because it forced an errant throw, and now Louisiana should get the football back.
It has been all ball control here in the first half. 3 possessions for Georgia Southern, only 2 for Louisiana, and they appear to be set for their 3rd touch of the ball with the punting unit on here, 4th down for the Eagles. Eric Guerra is the deep man. Anthony Beck, an outstanding punter. A Ray Guy candidate, will try and knock this one down deep. And it bounds into the end zone for the touchdown. 2-minute drill here for Levi Lewis and the offense, and a shot at the lead before halftime. And for the Sun Belt Conference, it's been a terrific start to the new year. That opening weekend, they dominated the Big 12.
Yeah, that was the big win that everyone talked about. It was Louisiana going to Ames, Iowa, and beating the Cyclones 31-14. But that wasn't enough. It was what Arkansas State did. They go to Manhattan, Kansas. They take care of business and beat Kansas State 35-31, and Coastal Carolina defeating the Kansas Jayhawks 38-23. It was outstanding weekend for the Sun Belt, but at the same time, nobody's going to want to play them next year, right? Just because of the success that this conference has just kind of been glowing for the last couple years, and you see it now. Outstanding football here. There
is the Sun Belt Coach of the Year last season, Billy Napier, in his third season. They've been knocking on the door with a couple of trips to the Sun Belt Championship game. Incomplete on the first down pass from Levi Lewis. But for Billy Napier, we mentioned DJ Looney. He talked to us yesterday about all the adversity this team and this program have overcome just to be out here, from the loss of their assistant coach to COVID to all the social justice issues going on around his players and his program. They had hurricanes and tropical storms that have blown through in recent weeks that they've also had to deal with. And then now with the added national attention and attention locally around a ranked program, he thinks his guys have come through it real well and are excited about the opportunity in front of them to make some noise nationally. They got a 3rd and short right here they want to convert.
Yeah, they got to convert this 3rd down, but it's part of the fabric here at Louisiana that you're able to overcome anything when you stick together. Now on this 3rd down, can they find a way to keep these chains moving?
Lewis converts out across the 40 and knocked out of bounds. Peter LeBlanc at the 43-yard line, first down.
Levi Lewis showing the touch that he also possesses. He knows where he's going with the football and throws his wide receiver open. There's some quarterbacks that wait till a guy gets open. Levi Lewis doesn't do that. He just throws the ball right there and leads LeBlanc to the outside for a first down.
16 yards on that hookup. 1:34 to go here in the second quarter. Lewis again with time, finds his man at midfield, and tight ends are doing some work so far in the first half. That's Johnny Lumpkin, the junior from Atlanta.
You know, we always talk about the running backs and how they're great runners, but guess what? You got to be able to block. Watch the running back here, number 9, Trey Regis. You got to pick up the block. Stands in there. This is what outstanding backs do, all-around backs. And I think Regis, I know Elijah Mitchell's out, but these two guys are showing that they can play on the next level. They got it all. They got the package. They can run, they can block, they can catch out of the backfield.
Regis is offset. He's a check down, but Lewis has other plans, throws it deep, and it's intercepted at the 15-yard line. Reynard Ellis with the pick, and it goes back to Georgia Southern. 3rd interception of the season for Levi Lewis.
That's a highlight play. That's a linebacker, number 36, Reynard Lewis, flipping the hips and says, yes, guess what? I can catch just as well. Making a play.
Georgia Southern's defense comes up with the turnover. Reynard Ellis with the pick down at the 14-yard line to take the ball away from the Ragin' Cajuns. One of the hallmarks of this Eagle program, winning the turnover battle. They rarely give it up, and they'll take it away a lot from you. Best in the country over the course of the last couple of seasons. And they may be happy right here to head into the locker room even with 19th ranked Louisiana.
I just want you to watch Reynard Ellis. He's the middle linebacker. And all he does, he's just roaming in the middle of the field. Levi Lewis thinks he's got Kyron Lacey wide open in the middle of the field. He doesn't see Ellis at all. And Ellis flips his hips. He makes an interception. And me, the former NFL linebacker of me, knows how difficult a play that is for Ellis. That was some Luke Kuechly type stuff right there. Being in what I call no man's land, locating the football and bringing it down. That's an outstanding play by the redshirt junior.
So the Ragin' Cajuns use their final timeout. We'll let America Google how many career interceptions for Kirk Morrison.
Oh, I know.
And while they do that, we'll remind you that we got a huge matchup coming on Monday Night Football. MVPs everywhere. Well, at least the two quarterbacks, Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs, Lamar Jackson and the Ravens. It's 2-0 versus 2-0. Monday Night Countdown gets you started at 6, and then 8 Eastern for the coverage on ESPN, Deportes, the ESPN app. How about a guy from right down the road here at LSU, and Clyde Edwards-Helaire? Is he the front runner already for Rookie of the Year honors? Had that huge Week 1 against the Texans.
Yeah, but you look at the rush yards in Week 2, but it's really more about what he does out of the backfield. He's been a nice threat, what I call a check down if needed for Patrick Mahomes. How the rich get richer, right, Beth? You win the Super Bowl,
yeah.
You have a first-round pick. Oh, how about let's draft Clyde Edwards-Helaire? He fits right in that offense for the Chiefs. Looks like he's been there for 5 seasons already.
On third down, they want to try and keep it away from Levi Lewis, and they've got the yardage to do it real quick. Morrison career INTs?
7.
7. Whoa,
7.
so you did cover some ground.
Oh, yeah. I got hands. That's why I tell you, when Raynard Ellis got that interception, the linebacker and me almost jumped out the booth. Beth, I get excited when I see good linebacker play.
All right, Wirtz going to try to bring it across midfield. Pass is incomplete. Georgia Southern was looking for a penalty on the coverage, but no flag. Chad Longford had his eyes on the defender the whole way. Said it was Garner, it was that guy.
Be interesting how they go about these next couple plays. 28 seconds left in this half. They still got a couple of timeouts. They got to get the ball down the field. This is where Shai Wirtz has to put it out in front of these wide receivers.
Wirtz deep down the middle of the field into double coverage, and that is intercepted. And the Raging Cajuns will get the ball back, and then it's stripped away. And Louisiana recovers it midfield. Percy Butler is able to grab it after Trahan got the pick. 12 seconds now for Levi Lewis to work with.
Yeah, I know the baseball playoffs are quickly approaching, and I say that because number 24, Braylon Trahan, he just plays center field. That's all he's a center fielder, and he's watching the eyes of Shai Wirtz the entire time. Wirtz thought he had a streaking receiver, but Trahan saw it, high pointed the football, and brought it down. Got to hold on to it after you get the interception, but a terrific job of reading the quarterback's eyes, getting an interception, and giving his offense an opportunity.
No timeouts to work with here for Lafayette. LeBlanc, his favorite target so far this year, down the bottom of your screen. Levi's looking that way. LeBlanc gets behind his man and makes the catch. Down to the 16-yard line. 5 seconds on the clock as they hustle to the line of scrimmage, ready to spike it. And they do just that. And they've given themselves an opportunity to get some points on the board. Down inside the 20, 2 seconds remaining. And they will bring on the kicker, Snyder.
Yeah, Scott Sloan, defensive coordinator for Georgia Southern. He's got to be telling his defense, how do we allow someone to get behind us? You keep everything in front of you. This is where D coordinators have to keep reminding the players, look, if I can't read the name on his back, I'm not deep enough. And that time, Louisiana found a nice little crease, nice little alley for a first down.
Big chance here for Nate Snyder, who's just 1 of 4 on the season.
Timeout. Georgia Southern, they're second. It'll be 30 seconds.
Georgia Southern will ice him. He has 1 make from 30, but 3 other misses from inside the 40-yard line. And this one will be a 34-yard attempt. Let's check in with Dawn Davenport.
Just to let you know, just heard on the sideline, this is almost the exact same situation that they practice every single day at the end of practice. So you would think they'd be ready for it.
Yeah, you got to convert, though. And it's been tough, right? 1 of 4 on the season for Nate Snyder. But Chad Lunsford called timeout. And so, Beth, just a little insight. I talked to Jay Feely, longtime NFL kicker this week, just because of the kicking game in the NFL. And he told me the worst thing for a coach to do is try to ice the kicker, because it now gives them time to actually set up, look at their sight lines, and actually more focused on now just kicking the ball right through. He said when you call a timeout, that's what kickers are thinking.
Spoken like a true kicker. We'll see if that's fact or fiction from our friend Jay. His first attempt of the day, they had a 4th down earlier in the game. They opted not to use it. From 34 yards out to take the lead into the locker room. And it's no good. He missed it.
This is the end of the first half.
It works today. It works today. You got to watch Coach Chad Lunsford's reaction the entire time. Watch him. He's standing right there. Yeah. You get excited. Yeah. The timeout worked for Coach. And it saves his offense from turning the ball over deep in the first half.
Ice pack effective. 7 apiece, Georgia Southern and number 19, Louisiana, in a Sun Belt showdown today at Cajun Field. Let's head to the studio for our Nissan halftime report after these messages. ESPN College Football, presented by Sling TV. Getting set to start this 3rd quarter in Lafayette, all even at 7 apiece. The Ragin' Cajuns and the Eagles of Georgia Southern. Louisiana set to receive the second half kick as we take a look at our first half stats. Brought to you by Dos Equis and that big time of possession advantage for Georgia Southern.
Well, it almost feels like Georgia Southern should be just dominating this football game. They really are. It feels like when I look at the scoreboard and it's 7-7, a couple of mistakes, couple things at the end of the first half have kind of made this game about even. It's about who's going to come out in the second half and really take it over early on.
Each side had a late turnover. Lafayette had a chance to cash it in, but Nate Snyder missed a 34-yard field goal. That makes him 1 for 5 on the season, so that could really impact the play calling in this second half for the Ragin' Cajuns, who only were able to run 27 plays in the entire first half because of the ball control for Georgia Southern. Good return out to about the 34-yard line. Let's check in with Dawn Davenport.
Guys, talk to head coach Billy Napier. We're a second-half team, he said. We'll be all right. They showed that last week, down by 2 touchdowns against Georgia State, came back to win that ball game. Now, he did point out they've got to get off the field. They've got to get some stops. They've got to get the ball in their hands, but they feel like they expected that coming in, playing this kind of offense. As for his running back situation, Chris Smith suffered that ankle injury in the first half. He's officially questionable. He said, we're good, though. He pointed out true freshman Amani Baylor to help carry that load for them.
We saw a little bit of those other guys. It's Regis who will get the start here in the backfield. And Trey will get the carry, but it looks like it's coming back, a flag in the backfield as he bounds out to the 40-yard line.
Holding. Offense number 54. 10-yard penalty. Replay first down.
That will be Tyler Brown. Worth noting also, as Dawn referenced the comeback last week, it was in their first game at Iowa State where they shocked the Cyclones, outscoring them 21-0 in that second half. So Napier has made some good halftime adjustments in their 2 games this year.
Absolutely. They've been tested. You mentioned it, week 1, Iowa State. They were tested last week against Georgia State, but then also they won in overtime. So they're used to games like this, but it's just about limiting the mistakes and finding ways to keep the ball moving, keeping this offense on the field.
Just the 3rd penalty of the day on Louisiana, but it does set them back 1st and 20. Levi Lewis on the rollout. This is where he can be dangerous off the scramble. Forced out of bounds. Well, they'll mark him out around the 30-yard line. Get some of that yardage back.
I'm glad you said that because I want to see him be more dangerous. I felt like once he rolled out of the corner, there was nobody there. Go get your free 10 yards and then get out of bounds. That time he does a great job of always keeping his eyes down the field, but it's sometimes get the yardage that is there for you and sets up those big plays down the field.
injured player for Georgia Southern. That was Raymond Johnson. They're all Sun Belt defensive linemen who has to go off to the side. Replaced by A.J. Watkins. Empty set on 2nd and 16. Some adjustments here from the O-line. Shane Vallow at center. Lewis checks it down, has a man in space. Regis down the sideline. Where do they spot him? Out. It's back inside the 40, so I'll have about a 3rd and 5 coming up.
He had all day to throw. Look at the protection, this offensive line. Everybody double teaming. When you only send a 3-man rush, every offensive line should be able to pick it up. You get some double teams going, but it gives this quarterback, Levi Lewis, enough time to scan the field. He goes to his 2nd, 3rd progression, which was Regis on the sideline, giving him a manageable 3rd down.
9 for 16 now on the day, 143 yards, and the interception for Levi. 2 for 4 today on 3rd down. Well protected again, but he bounces that one in the turf, and immediately both his hands go down to his knees. He knew he misfired on it. It's 4th down.
He knew where he wanted to go with the ball. He saw the blitz coming from Georgia Southern, and he just delivered a bad pass. That's where you see the quarterback say, I had it. But that's usually the hardest throw when the guy's wide open. It wasn't necessarily a rhythm throw. He read it right, just a bad pass.
Well, the punting unit will come out. Reese Burns, 47 yards on his one and only punt. Or excuse me, his first punt of the day today for the junior from Melbourne. Caleb Hood, Wesley Kennedy are back around their own 20-yard line. And a spinner. Hood barely able to hang on to that one, and he's wrapped up immediately and taken down at the 23-yard line. First possession of this second half for Georgia Southern after the defense gets the stop.
Welcome back to the Marathon Conference Kickoff.
A Sun Belt Conference showdown here in Lafayette today, and the drive chart for Georgia Southern. They got 7 points on the board, but they have been winning one of the things they wanted to do today, and that's the time of possession and keeping that potent Louisiana offense on the sideline, Kurt. And they're back out there for their first touch of this 3rd quarter.
And they're right back to who they are, right? They wanted to dominate this game on the ground. That's just who they are. When your identity is that, hey, we run the football, we got to do what we do best. But by them doing that, it keeps, like you mentioned, the Louisiana offense on the sideline right now, which is forcing Louisiana to have to try to go to the air a little more often to get some offense.
Led by their senior quarterback, Shai Wertz, redshirted as a freshman. He's been the starter the last 4 years running. He's had to work with 3 different offensive coordinators on the field. And they love his mojo right now as he pitches late on the option right. And the spot is going to be close. Let's see if they move the chains here. And they will. First down for Georgia Southern. But if you follow the Eagles, you know that Shai's been through an awful lot off the field as well. It was the summer of 2019, prior to the start of last season, that he was pulled over by police in a traffic stop in South Carolina. And a whole lot went on in the days and nights following that. Carried over into the season for Shea with his mentality. And then, of course, with all the social justice movement going on in the last 6 or 7 months, Shea has really discovered a lot about himself and found his voice. He's been very vocal and very prominent around Georgia Southern.
You know, Beth, I couldn't be more impressed with a young man like Shai Wertz. He's an ultimate pro, even though he's still in college. And he's one of the reasons why this offense is playing the way that it is, because you have a true leader at the quarterback position. When you ask his teammates, when you ask his head coach, describe Shai Wertz, and he's a leader. He's the best teammate, but he's also been through so much at an early age. And at that position, you almost become the leader of men or young men. on his team, where they look to him for leadership. They look for him for counseling, and just an outstanding young man when you get a chance to talk to him.
He has spoken a lot about, and his coaches and teammates have as well, embracing his platform. When you're the quarterback, you're going to have the spotlight on you. And after this play, we've got more about that incident and his growth from Don Davenport. He's going to throw here, and he'll hook up on the edge with Darian Anderson. Well, it looks like he's got another first down. Dawn?
Guys, it's also brought Shai and his head coach closer together. He told me that they had some in-depth and tough conversations the last few months. He wanted them to do more as a program to try and bring about change. And he told me that Coach Lunsford is his dog and was willing to do absolutely everything he suggested to utilize his story, to promote change, to help this team grow. And they've really seen that the last couple of months.
Wirtz will give it off to Wesley Kennedy. Stuffed around the 45. So it was the summer of 2019 when Wirtz was arrested after police officers claimed to have found traces of cocaine on his car. Wirtz claimed all along it was bird droppings. He was suspended briefly by Georgia Southern while the investigation was going on, and then after having to spend the night in jail, ultimately he was cleared of all charges. He returned to the team. He quarterbacked them through all of last year, ended up in a bowl game, and after all of that experience with social injustice, he has really become outspoken on the issue over the course of the summer.
Just think about all of that on a young man going into a season, right? And look, his head coach, I thought, tried to just make sure that Shai was okay, right? And in that time, I think Coach Lunsford realized that I could have done more myself to help include all of his teammates to understand that, look, this is where we're at. This is the world that we're in. Understand, how do we get better from this and move on from this? And I thought that Shai Wirtz this year being able to play without some of the burdens that he had to worry about just a year ago.
Facing a third down right here. Shai in this offense have converted on 6 of 9. He'll keep it and run it off the right side, and he's got the first down to about the 31-yard line. Amongst the many things he has helped change, they will have the day off from football activities on Election Day so they can all get out and vote as the student athletes. Dawn?
Yeah, you talk about him becoming more vocal as a leader on this football field, too. I have seen that here on the sideline. Offensive coordinator Bob DeBest told us he sees it every day in practice as a more positive, vocal leadership. He's been that this entire game, first half, up and down the sideline, talking to his players, extremely positive. I never saw him before, but he said that's something that's new for him this year.
He's done a solid job running the show here today on the road. They'll run the dive up the middle and get it down inside the 30. J.D. King, Wesley Kennedy, Matt LaRoche, Logan Wright have all had carries along with Shai as they have spread it around in the backfield.
But if you're the Louisiana defense, someone's got to make a play. Someone's got to stop the bleeding. They defensively have allowed Georgia Southern to just methodically drive down the field. It's at some point you have to make a stop. Now, it's earlier they got an interception, but here you got to start making some plays on first and second down and getting this defense off the field.
9th play on a 5-minute plus drive now for Georgia Southern. Wirtz to throw, and it's caught on the edge for another first down. Dexter Carter. Little extra work for him at the end, down to the 16-yard line.
I don't know, why would I be playing off if I'm Louisiana? I mean, if they're running the ball, I'm going to say that my defensive backs can run with these wide receivers, and if you get one-on-one on the outside, hey, we got to make a play. But right now, not committing more guys to the line of scrimmage, and that's why Georgia Southern keeps finding area and room to run.
They pick up 13 more yards there. King fights his way for a couple right up the middle. Zion Hill was in the middle of that pack.
Again, second down. Where do you find this offense. Do you put it in the air or you can continue to run the ball? I think, again, you look at the distribution of carries from the running backs. I'm still going to keep the ball on the ground as much as possible. Third down, I'm a throw, but right now, the amount of yards getting on first and second, I keep it up.
More of King down to the 10. This looks very familiar and a lot like their first possession of the first quarter when they drove down into the red zone and then it stalled and they got stopped on a fourth down play.
I try to put my offensive coordinator hat on here, Beth, and it's tough because in the first half you want to be aggressive and go for it. But now when you talk about what seems to be a low-scoring game, how do I call this third down play? Because if I don't get it, I got to kick the field goal here and get 3 points. So look for Shai to put this ball in the air.
That first drive in the first quarter over 8 minutes, and they came away empty. So here they go on third down. Bo Johnson is the motion man. Wirtz lofts it into the back of the end zone, incomplete. Intended for Emil Smith, and it's fourth down, and here comes the kicking unit.
Yeah, I figured that they would throw the ball here because they got points. But this is one of the things that I circled this week in watching film on Shai Wirtz. He just has to play with a little more anticipation. That ball should have been thrown already, but thrown to a corner or a spot in the end zone where his receiver can just run underneath it. That time, he just overshot it. But I think with a little more anticipation, that could have been a touchdown.
Alex Rayner, the freshman, on the kick. And he's got it. 27-yarder gives Georgia Southern the 10-7 lead. It's Mahomes and Jackson. Going to be fun in Baltimore on Monday night. Georgia Southern has the lead here after the Alex Rayner 27-yard field goal. They're up 3, and look at the time of possession. Another massive drive to start out the third quarter, over 7.5 minutes and 13 plays. As Georgia Southern put some points up, trying to get a big upset road win over the 19th-ranked Ragin' Cajuns. They've scored over 30 points in each of their first 2 games, but they've only had it 5 times so far today. Let's take a look at our pocket protection, brought to you by Nationwide.
Well, I was going to wonder, how would Louisiana get it done? Remember, Max Mitchell, right tackle, he was out, but they've done a great job of keeping Levi Lewis protected. He's done it with the offensive line, but he's also had some running backs step up. Trey Regis with a nice block earlier. And then late in the first half, just keeping the pocket clean, allowing Levi Lewis the time to deliver the football. Outstanding protection so far by the Louisiana offensive line.
Regis set up in the pistol here behind Lewis. Right up the middle, short yardage. How about a studio update with Kevin Connors?
All right, Beth, now let's go to Oxford and take a look at today's Capital One rewarding performance. Boy, Florida throwing it all over Ole Miss today. Kyle Trask, 71 yards, and look at that stiff arm. Kyle Pitts, 5 TD passes for Trask. Last Gators quarterback to do that in an SEC road game, Rex Grossman in 2001.
Wow, Rexy.
Kyle Trask having himself an afternoon with the Florida Gators. SEC is back. The Big Ten coming back, the Pac-12 coming back, and also this week the Mountain West and Maction going to return as well. So that means all 10 of the conferences in FBS will be playing hopefully right around the first weekend in November.
Well, now that everybody's back, Louisiana, I think the pressure is now on them. What they've done the first 2 weeks can kind of go out of the window because now everyone is now joining the college football party. They want to continue this momentum they've had the first 2 games. This is a big, big drive here, Beth, for this football game. They've got to get some points. They got to get a good drive here because without it, you give the ball back to that Georgia Southern offense. They can run it for another 10 minutes and really put the pressure on Louisiana.
They're looking to go 3-0 for the first time in 32 years. And when you talk about being ranked 19th in the country, right now you've got 7 teams outside the Power 5 that are in the rankings. How many of those will stick around early November when voters can start adding Big Ten and Pac-12 schools. And they're going for the deep ball right here, and it's broken up at the 5-yard line.
That ball's underthrown. That's Tyler Bride, the true freshman. And just take a look at the play by number 24. He's what I call out of phase. He's just running, but there was no panic by the true freshman out of Atlanta, Georgia. He stays there. The ball is just a little underthrown, but no panic by number 24, Tyler Bride. Knocks that ball through at the end, knocks it away. It's an outstanding play, but a poorly thrown ball that really could have been a huge play for Louisiana.
Looking for Caleb Carter right there. Rifled across the middle, wide open. Kyron Lacey lost the football late in the play and was able to dive back on it at the 35-yard line.
Sometimes you go back to the old bread and butter play, right? I've talked about it many a times. It's that what I call the end cut. It's a 12 to 15-yard route right on top of the hash marks. That's the throw that Levi Lewis loves. And you see he connects with it. You just got to make sure to hold on to the football if you're a true freshman, Kyron Lewis. High school, you get away with that. You get to this FBS level, got to have two hands on the football. Georgia Southern almost got a nice little fumble.
27 yards for Kyron Lacey and this wide receiver core made up primarily of freshmen and sophomores, working with the senior Lewis. Looking to go over the top for LeBlanc. Crowd wanted a flag for interference, and instead LeBlanc comes up limping off to the side. No flag on the play.
No, a little hand fighting there. Darrell Baker showing the veteran move. That's a fifth-year senior, too. So when you get number 14, Darrell Baker, the fifth-year senior, knowing where he's at on the field, gets a nice little arm lock. Official doesn't see it, but they're both hand fighting a little bit, and the ball just a little bit out of reach for LeBlanc.
2nd and 10. Lewis. In the tunnel is Errol Rogers, the true freshman from right here, Lafayette Christian Academy. He gets it back to the line of scrimmage, so it's 3rd and 10.
Another one of those true freshmen for Louisiana on offense. Just trying to get the ball out of Levi Lewis's hands quickly and allow these playmakers for room to run. But just the rally and tackling of Georgia Southern, been truly impressed by what they've been able to do defensively.
Imani Bailey now as the offset back as Lacey comes in motion to the near side. They're going to run it with Bailey. Showing some speed. He's got the first down inside the 15. Diving down to the 11-yard. Electric run by Imani Bailey, the true freshman.
Georgia Southern's going to bring pressure from the offensive left. That means there's nobody on the outside. And that time, Bailey showing off the speed, and why Coach Napier was so excited to see the young freshman be out there to play today, because of those types of plays. Give him a nice little crease, and you saw the speed of the true freshman Bailey.
25 yards on that carry. 1st and goal. Bailey again. This time they'll try him up the middle. Nothing doing. Todd Bradley down near the bottom of that pile. Javon Singletary coming up from the secondary.
Remember, big drive here. I keep mentioning that, but remember where they're at. 1st and 2nd and goal here. They're going to go for it, Beth. I'm just telling you, because we know with the field goal kicking issues, if you're Louisiana, they've got 3 plays here inside the 10.
LeBlanc has not yet returned after his injury. The delay to Regis. He'll get to the 8, and that is it. So 3rd and goal coming up.
I talked about it earlier this half when Georgia Southern had the same situation. Ball's about, what do you say, maybe the 8-yard line here, 3rd down. You trust your senior quarterback to make the right decision here, but you've had a kicker who's been struggling, 1 of 5 on the year. Is this 2-down territory in the third quarter, I would say, yeah, 2-down territory inside the 10-yard line. You may see 2 plays here inside the 10.
Lewis, back corner of the end zone, broken up, looking for Devin Pauly, and it is 4th down.
They got the matchup they wanted. Anthony Wilson, another one of these redshirt freshmen for Georgia Southern. And I'm shocked here, Beth. I really am.
They are going with the kicker, Nate Snyder.
Yeah, I would have probably ran the ball there. Maybe tried on 4th down again as well, but you got to get your kicker confidence at some point.
He has missed from 34. This attempt will be 25. And it's good.
It's good. 30 seconds left.
Nate Snyder knocks it through to tie it up at 10. Welcome back to ESPN College Football, presented by Sling TV as a part of Marathon Conference Kickoff. 10-10, Raging Cajuns and Eagles this afternoon in Lafayette. And tonight it's UFC 253 as we take you back to Fight Island in Abu Dhabi. Israel Adesanya and Paulo Costa for the middleweight belt. To order the main card in English and Spanish, go to espnplus.com/ppv. Prelims will start at 7, and then the pay-per-view at 10 p.m. Eastern. Kickoff out of the end zone, out to the 25 for Georgia Southern. But first, Kevin Connors has some more for us.
Yeah, and Beth, this studio update brought to you by AT&T 5G. Every pass Spencer Rattler has thrown has been caught. 2 of them by K-State, the other 23 by his dudes. Jeremiah Hall, 21 yards, 4 TD passes for Rattler. 28-14 Sooners, Beth.
Oh, Oklahoma trying to get to 2-0.
Beth, you think I should just try to be a grad transfer and enroll at
Do you still
Oklahoma?
have eligibility?
I don't know if I can throw it, but I just feel like...
Well, Spencer's a youngster, so he's got some time there.
I know. It just seems like you go to Oklahoma and, wow, what is Lincoln Riley... What's he got going on down there, turning these quarterbacks into outstanding college football players?
They've got some offense going on. The run game has been there today for Georgia Southern, 170 rush yards. Of their 50 plays, 39 of them have been churned out on the ground. That's their MO for Chad Lunsford. And that should take care of business for the third quarter. And it's on to the 4th at Cajun Field, a pivotal early season matchup in the Sun Belt.
This is the end of the third quarter.
All even at 10 apiece.
Capital One knows life doesn't update you about your credit card. So meet Eno, the Capital One assistant that looks out for charges that might surprise you and helps you fix them. What's in your wallet?
Time for the 4th quarter here at Cajun Field, all even at 10 apiece. Georgia Southern and number 19, Louisiana. And it's been all about ball control and time of possession today for Georgia Southern. They've run 10 more plays and taken up over 10 more minutes off the clock and kept this Louisiana potent offense on the sideline. And they find themselves with a chance and the football to start the 4th quarter. They've had big upsets in each of the last 2 seasons, shocking Appalachian State on both occasions. And after App State lost last week, Louisiana has now taken over as the favorite in the Sun Belt, Kirk. And here's Georgia Southern trying to bust it up.
You got a 4th quarter, 10-10. It's about which team is going to make the play down the stretch. Right, Louisiana defensively, they've got to get a stop. They can't allow the 8-10 play drive. They want to get this ball back quickly to their offense. Critical third down here.
7 of 11 today on third downs. Wirtz in trouble and thrown down for a loss. And that's the leading tackler on the team. Lorenzo McCaskill over there to give a big shout out to Farrod Gardner.
Farrod Gardner, 2 weeks ago against Iowa State, he's the National Defensive Player of the Week. But watch number 7. He did it earlier in the first half. But just watch his athleticism. Defeats the block and goes and gets Shy Wirtz and tackles him. That's just an outstanding play. He's been all over the field. One of the most impressive guys I've seen so far in the early college football season. Outstanding play.
Anthony Beck, the wobbler, Eric Guerra will have a shot at a return here. Beats the first guy, stays on his feet, out to about the 42-yard line. So now it's Louisiana's turn to try and break up the tie here early in the fourth.
Changes in the SEC. 10-game conference-only schedule that includes 4 non-divisional opponents with 4 new head coaches.
It's going to be fun to watch. The Southeastern Conference playing again, starting out today. Games underway. Alabama and LSU still to come later this afternoon. We'll have the Crimson Tide at Missouri for you. Prime time tonight.
The Mac Jones era.
Yes, as we welcome you back to ESPN College Football, presented by Sling TV. It's part of the Marathon Conference kickoff, even at 10, and it's the first chance of the fourth quarter for Louisiana.
False start.
False start. Offense, number 58. 5-yard penalty, still first down.
2-0, the huge upset in their first game, surviving in overtime in their second game, and now we find out some of that Billy Napier magic. What has he picked up from his days as an assistant for both Nick Saban at Alabama and Dabo Swinney at Clemson? The only head coach in the game right now today that has been on the sideline with both those legendary guys.
I think the one thing that he's probably telling his players is expect a game like this, right? Deep into the fourth quarter, fellas, we're going to play games like this. They no longer are the hunters in college football. They are now the hunted.
Yes.
You beat Iowa State. You win in overtime last week. You're going to get everyone's best. But we got to make sure we take care of us. And right now, an outstanding game so far on both sides. Louisiana just has to find a way to get some points on the board outside of a field goal.
Championship pedigree, by the way, for both of those teams. Throw downfield caught as they move in the Eagles' territory, and a first down that Kyron Lacey is emerging on the outside today.
One of the more difficult throws in college football is what they call the honey hole. The honey hole is that area of the field right behind the corner, but in front of the safety. And Levi Lewis finds that small little window behind that corner in front of the safety. He's done it twice today. Outstanding job.
Regas terrific on the cutback down to the 35-yard line. And gets 6 of them there. Nice chunk of change on first down. What did Billy Napier talk to us about yesterday? Not only do we want to be better on third down, but we want to avoid more third downs, and that means get the big yardage on first down. Regas got it for him there, and he is close to a first down on that second down carry. Flag on the play.
Holding. Offense, number 54. 10-yard penalty. Replay second down.
That's redshirt freshman Tyler Brown. Saturday Night Football coming up on ABC. The Miami Hurricanes, their offense is looking good with De'Aaron King and new offensive coordinator Rhett Lashley. They'll take on Florida State, where Mike Norvell will be coaching remotely. 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific on ABC and the ESPN app. Kirk Herbstreit will also be broadcasting remotely, staying home out of some safety concerns around the COVID, so we certainly Hope that all is well for Kirk and his family. Across the middle for another first down for the Ragin' Cajuns. Jalen Williams and Levi Lewis looking confident right now in the pocket.
Yeah, that's one of the attributes when I watch film. I write down timing, rhythm, thrower. That's Levi Lewis. Fake, that's the timing part of it. And then the throw on the money. He releases the ball really quickly, and that's the reason why he leads his receivers. Nice pickup there for a first down.
Throwing it deep down the middle, touchdown Louisiana. Sliding to make the catch is Kyron Lacey. Excuse me, that's Errol Rogers, the freshman from Lafayette, 27 yards.
I think they get away with a hold here in Louisiana, but that doesn't matter. You still got to find a way to stand in the pocket if you're Levi Lewis. He fakes to the right, comes all the way back to the true freshman, Errol Rogers, number 6. And they've been talking about Errol Rogers all week long, the true freshman right out of here, out of Lafayette, finding a way to get on the board this time, a touchdown. Nice throw, a little underthrown, but Errol Rogers showing off his ability, making the catch.
It appeared that he got the hands underneath the football safely. Extra point is good. Impressive drive for the Ragin' Cajuns to take the lead, 17-10.
Got to find a way. Sometimes it may not look pretty, but you put the ball out there, let your true freshman join the party. Welcome to college football, Errol Rogers. You just scored a touchdown.
ESPN College Football is presented by Sling TV, the smart choice for live TV, and in part by the Toasted S'mores Shake, only at Sonic.
Levi Lewis leading the way for Lafayette. Terrific on that drive. He finds Errol Rogers, 27 yards for the score and the lead, 10:34 to play. Look at that drive, 3 for 3, 65 yards, and the touchdown strike. Let's revisit the TD.
First of all, it's just an outstanding job by Errol Rogers, first a receiver to make the catch, but it's again Levi Lewis. He fakes as if he's going to throw to his right, comes all the way back, and you see that lefty tail at the end. He's a left-handed quarterback, so the ball will sail and tail at the end. Great job by Errol Rogers, the receiver, seeing that, getting his hand underneath for the reception for a touchdown.
Let's check in with Dawn. She's got more on that combo.
Yeah, I talked to Levi, and he did say, guys, his receivers tell him there's a different spin on the ball from a lefty, and with quite a few young receivers. He told me that he spent a ton of time with them outside, socially distanced, of course, during quarantine, running routes together. You saw that chemistry for them just now.
Shai Wertz has a man wide open across midfield and hauled down at the 31-yard line. Wesley Kennedy, that's his second big play on the receiving end today.
It's the big play that they've done not only earlier, but we saw it again last week. And Louisiana has shown that they have not defended this play. It's the second man through, or what we call the wheel route. Wesley Kennedy again streaking down the middle of the field. Wide open, Shai Wertz puts it on him. Outstanding play call again by Bob DeBest, offensive coordinator of Georgia Southern. Until they cover it, you keep running it.
Second time they've hit on that today. The first time it led to a touchdown. Wertz behind the Kennedy block, dives down to about the 27-yard line. Well, we were talking about Levi Lewis in that impressive drive moments ago, the left-handers. How about some of the other left-handers we've enjoyed watching in college football
Michael
in
Vick.
recent years? Leinart.
Michael Vick was scary. Matt Leinart was just so consistent with the weapons he had at SC.
Well, Leinart's a champion. Tebow's a champion. So's Tua.
Tua. And Michael Vick went to a championship game at Virginia Tech. All outstanding lefties, man.
Matt LaRoche gets the call there on second down. So it's going to bring up 3rd and 4.
Let's make some noise.
They've been strong on 3rd downs today, keeping their drives alive, keeping that clock moving.
If I'm Louisiana, I'm bringing some pressure from the field. The ball's on the right hash mark. Shy Wirtz likes to operate to the wide side of the field. See some pressure here from Louisiana from the field.
Tripped up in the backfield is LaRoche, and it's 4th down. Zion Hill got into the backfield to make the play. And Georgia Southern is going to attempt the 3 here.
Nice job by Zion Hill, just fighting off the block and just staying strong. Remember again, Taylon Humphrey, the defensive tackle, he's out this game. So a lot put on Zion Hill, the preseason second team Sun Belt Conference nominee, making a play there on 3rd down.
Alex Rayner, he's hit once today. Second time, it is no good. Missed it from 41. Big stop for Louisiana. The 7-point lead with the ball when we come back. (17-10), Raging Cajuns with the lead over Georgia Southern. 8:01 to go in the 4th quarter. A win would be a 3-0 start for the first time in over 3 decades for Louisiana. And look at what Billy Napier's been able to do against the rest of the league. It's been App State that's been the problem. 2 of those losses have been in the last 2 Sun Belt Conference Championship games. Can they get back to the title game again this year? First, however, all eyes will be on that App State-Louisiana game in primetime on ESPN October 7th. How about a studio update with Kevin Connors?
All right, Beth, Bo Nix had his moments a season ago. Gus Malzahn wants more consistency. How's this? 4 yards to Seth Williams. 1 of 2 TDs on the game for Nix. Auburn gets Georgia next week. They're up 22-13 on Kentucky.
Thank you, Kevin. On 2nd and 11. Trey Regis. Now it's going to be 3rd down. If they were hoping to run the clock down with some run game right here, they may have to change their plans.
Yeah, and this is what they did not want to be in. They didn't want to be in 3rd and long. It's one thing to be in 3rd down, but when you're 3rd down and 9+, you don't want to be that for an offense. They were 3 of 14 last week versus Georgia State. And now you want to see, do you get pressure here from Georgia Southern?
Just 4-man coming. They set up the screenplay. Out across the 30 is Regis, and that'll be short. And a chance for Georgia Southern to get the football back. Clock running under 6.5 to go.
Jay just rushed 4. Georgia Southern did. They played it safe, dropped 7, and rallied to the football. It's a nice little stop, getting the ball back to their offense.
Burns from his own 16. Hood and Kennedy back around their 30 as Reese Burns launches one towards Kennedy. Fair catch. 70 yards away for the Eagles. Under 6 to go in regulation. Back to Cajun Field after this. (17-10), Louisiana with the lead over Georgia Southern. 5:48 to go here in the 4th quarter. Let's take a look at our college football rankings, brought to you by PlayStation 5. Oklahoma out in front. Rattler with 4 touchdown passes. Kyle Trask has 5 TD tosses for Florida. Auburn has extended their lead. Welcome back to the Southeastern And under 6 minutes to go for Georgia Southern. You touched on it early in the game, Kirk. They want to throw the football when they want to, not when they have to. They may have to a little bit more here down the stretch.
Yeah, Beth, you read my mind. They have to. They have to get the ball down the field. And this is where Shai Werts has to show his improvement. This is now a fifth-year senior. Has to show off now in this time that, hey, you want to throw the ball more, you got to show us. Here's the opportunity. They got to win it on the arm of Shai Werts.
6 of 13, 145 yards, and 1 interception today. Unable to get to the edge is Kennedy.
That's the one thing I've been impressed with all day long for Louisiana. It has been their perimeter tackling. I mean, sideline to sideline, you cannot outrun this Louisiana defense. We've seen it from Gardner.
Andre Riley is the guy this time.
Riley, the backup outside linebacker. They all play discipline, but just watch the speed to the football. I mean, it's outstanding the way they rally and tackle. But now, crucial third down here. 3rd and 2. Who do you keep the ball with? Shai Werts. Keep an eye on number 1.
Werts, the late pitch to King, hit at the 40. It's going to be close.
They
give it to him. Yep, first down, Georgia Southern.
Just enough. Lorenzo McCaskill, number 2, he was bearing down, delivered the hit, but just a little too late. Again, Shai Werts, ball in his hands. Gotta have it moment. He makes the right decision. And J.D. King, all 5'11", 220 pounds, leads for a first down.
Option right this time. King, again, met right at the line of scrimmage for Rod Gardner.
I can't wait till after the game, we make a highlight tape. And for our Gardner, he's going to have about 4 or 5 plays just like this on there. Just running the alley, getting to the outside. And I just mentioned it a couple plays earlier. You cannot outrun this Louisiana defense to the sideline. Great inside-out tacklers that force you east and west, not allowing you to get north and south.
Senior out of Dayton, Ohio, making the play there. On second down, Werts back to throw. He's got his tight end, Bo Johnson, with a blocker in front of him. Inside the 20, racing down the sideline, lunges for the end zone, and the ball popped out. The signal here is touchdown, Georgia Southern. Does he break the plane with possession?
He did not break the plane. Just watching it from up here. They're ruling it a touchdown.
Ruling on the field is a touchdown.
That will be under review. That play will be under review because he lost control of the ball before he got to the end zone. That's Bill Belichick rule number 1. If you're an offensive player, do not reach the ball out to cross the goal line because of plays like we just saw from Bo Johnson. There was no need to do that. He loses control of the ball. That will go back to Louisiana on the offense. That'll be a touchback. Unfortunate play.
The ruling on the field was a touchdown.
Georgia Southern.
The previous plays under video review.
We're going to take some looks at this, Beth, but I'll tell you, that's just an unfortunate play for Georgia Southern. You've got the call that you wanted. An outstanding throw by the quarterback, Shai Werts. Bo Johnson, remember, his first game in 2020 makes the big catch.
Yep.
But that last act, not needed, and may have cost his team the game-tying touchdown.
Louisiana took the lead early in this fourth quarter, and since then, Georgia Southern has lost 10 points. A missed field goal, and now a missed opportunity with the fumble, it would appear, at the 1-yard line before he got in.
I mean, so many times I watch not only the college game and the NFL game, and I think right now, Coach Chad Lunsford, this is a teaching moment for Bo Johnson. This is a redshirt freshman, his first opportunity playing on the FBS level, his first game, just made the big, huge catch. but didn't need to stick
After
the ball
video
out.
review, there is no touchdown on the play. The runner lost control of the ball at the 2-yard line, fumbled it into and out of the end zone, which results in a touchback. First down, Louisiana.
Wow.
I mentioned it, Beth. That's a teaching moment. That's what good head coaches do. That's a young redshirt freshman just made the play of his early college career, and that's a teaching moment. You grab him to the side and you say, look, son, great play, but we didn't need that extra. We didn't need that at the end. You try to get the touchdown, but keep 2 hands on the ball, especially down there by the goal line.
Fumbled out of the end zone. Touchback, possession to Louisiana at their own 20 with 2:48 to go.
But the game's not over, right? I know it was a big play, but now you're going to look at your Georgia Southern defense and say, get us a stop. Get us the ball back. Get us one more opportunity. Put it on the back of the defense. In Louisiana, you got to convert a couple first downs and put this thing away.
Regis wants to stay in bounds as well. Back to the line of scrimmage. Full complement of timeouts for Georgia Southern still. They'll let the clock run here. Don't forget, coming up tonight, Saturday Night Football, primetime, 7:30 Eastern on ABC. Miami and Florida State. Can the Canes keep it going after a hot 2-0 start? We also got Alabama, Missouri tonight on ESPN. Troy, BYU late night tonight after dark on ESPN. Another short game, so far the Georgia Southern defense doing its job. Under 2 minutes to go, and now Georgia Southern will start calling some timeouts.
Yeah, they got to call a timeout. And so now, Billy Napier, Louisiana,
Georgia Southern,
Rob Sale, their offensive coordinator. What call are you making here? Because you're in a situation where you want to keep the ball in Levi Lewis's hands. You trust the senior. But Hoosier got to have it got, right? Think about it. They don't have the running game today. Dante Fleming, who's one of their big-time receivers, a freshman, he's out. Who's the guy that you can count on a 3rd and long situation to get the ball to? If you're Georgia Southern, you're going to play back. You know, no pressure. Send 3-4 men, but just play coverage here to get the ball
back. Game clock operator, please reset the game clock to 1 minute, 52 seconds. 1:52.
That will add 1 more second to the clock. And you know what Bo Johnson is thinking right here. Come on, defense, make a play. I want to get back out there and get another chance.
It's 3rd and long, and you've had great protection all day for Louisiana. So do you run the football and force Georgia Southern to call one of those timeouts? But still, if they do that, you're talking about still 1:45 and a timeout left if they don't pick it up on 3rd down. So I got to put my offensive coordinator hat on here, and I'm going to trust my senior quarterback to stare down the barrel and find the open guy for a first down.
Both sides have had a close game. Louisiana's win last week was in overtime. Georgia Southern's win a couple weeks ago was stopping a 2-point conversion in the final seconds. 4 of 6 on 3rd downs, throwing it for Levi today. Pass attempt here. Deep down the middle, overthrown and complete, and that will stop the clock for Georgia Southern. 1:46 to go.
That's a double win for Georgia Southern. Not only do they get the football back and they stopped on 3rd down, just a little time off the clock, and they save an extra timeout. So 2 timeouts, 1:46 to go. That's an excited coach over there, Chad Lunsford. He understands we got one opportunity now to win this game. We're going to win it with our offense, and Shai Wertz at quarterback.
Burns from inside his own 10. Kennedy and Hood are back deep. End over end. Kennedy is going to give it a go. Beats one guy. Knocked down out across the 35-yard line. 1:34 to go with a couple of timeouts. Let's check in with Dawn.
Guys, Shy Words, like a true leader, went up to Bo Johnson, gave him a big hug, told him to get it together, and then proceeded to run up and down this sideline and hype up his entire offense. Told them, we have a chance, let's go. It's funny, when I talked to him before this game, he told me he focused on his throws in the offseason. He said, a lot of people don't think I can throw the football. Looks like he might have a chance to show that he can today.
He sure will.
He's going to have some opportunities here. I mean, what more do you want, right? Georgia Southern, you're down 7. You got your redshirt senior quarterback about 60-plus yards away driving. Put it in his hands.
From their own 38. 4-man rush. Wirtz out into the flat. First down, close to midfield to Caleb Hood.
That's always a drive starter. That's great confidence. Get the ball out, positive play, and you get out of bounds. They can use the entire field, too. 2 timeouts, you use the entire field. You're not limited to just out routes and things to the sideline.
From the 50, the slant caught down inside the 43-yard line. It's Malik Murray. Clock down to 1:15.
No rush. Still got a lot of time left. Don't rush.
Wirtz gonna scramble, has some room. Down inside the 35 and out of bounds to stop the clock at 1:05 to play.
And then you forget about the legs of the quarterback. You're so worried about, we got to stop the pass in this situation. But this is very similar to the Campbell game 2 weeks ago for Georgia Southern. They get down into this part of the field, and this is where Shy Wirtz comes alive, not just with his arm, but with his legs.
King in the backfield with him from the 33. Wirtz gets it out of his hands quickly. Hood backpedaling out of bounds at the 28-yard line.
Nice, safe rhythm throw. Watching Louisiana defensively, they're playing off a little bit. They just brought in, looks like safety, Percy Butler. Do they try to switch it up here, play a little man coverage, maybe brings a little pressure, try to throw Shy Wirtz off the spot?
On second down, blitz coming. Georgia Southern picks it up, the throw into the end zone, reaching out and hauling it in for the touchdown is Caleb Hood. What a catch in traffic.
That play better be on SportsCenter tonight. You talk about a one-handed grab by Caleb Hood, the sophomore from McDonough, Georgia. First of all, he gets one-on-one on the outside. They blitzed. Shy Wirtz saw it, and he knew where he wanted to go with the football before the play even started. The one-handed grab by Caleb Hood for a touchdown.
Timeout. Georgia Southern, they're second. It'll be 30 seconds.
Timeout called here by Georgia Southern. Do you go for 2 on the road and try and win it in the final minute?
Why not? Why not?
Or I should say take the lead, because then Levi Lewis would still have a chance.
Hey, why not? I mean, I'm saying it's 2020, right? You're saying, look, you think about what both these sides have gone through in 2020, playing through a pandemic. The offseason was no offseason. Where you going to play, where you're not going to play. You get an opportunity to win a football game on a 2-point conversion. I've said it again. It's a joy for this game for us because we're watching 2 senior quarterbacks on the FBS level. First of all, again, a great throw by Shy Wirtz in between the corner and the safety. Hood with the great catch. But if I'm Chad Lunsford, I'm going for 2.
Louisiana scored early in this fourth quarter, but the Eagles have kept them quiet since. And they have sent the offense back out there.
Ball in the middle of the field.
Going for 2 and the lead with under a minute to play.
This ball should not leave the hands of Shy Wirtz.
Wirtz under pressure, slips it. Looking downfield, finds a man in the end zone, and he's got it for the conversion. Darian Anderson. And the Georgia Southern sideline erupts. They lead it 18-17.
What a play. What a play. That's the belief. We talked about the faith. We talked about overcoming adversity. That's Shai Wirtz. He's pressured. He's got a lineman in his face, and all he does is spins, pirouettes, keeps the hand down to the ground, but keep his eyes downfield. Watch the eyes. He keeps his eyes downfield and just delivers a strike for the two-point conversion. An outstanding play. You gotta have it. I don't expect anything less from Shai Wirtz.
We go back to Don Davenport's report at the start of this drive. Shai wants to prove he can throw it. Shai just did that. 4 for 4 on the drive for 51 yards through the air, and he also completes the two-point conversion. And now it's Lafayette's turn. For Louisiana, down 1 with 54 seconds to go and all 3 timeouts.
And let's remember the Louisiana kicking woes today. Snyder, their kicker, 1 of 5 on the year. Well, actually, he made one a little bit earlier. So 2 of 6, I think now, right? My math is correct. But it was a short, it was a gimme, right? 25-yard field goal. Now you got to find a way to get into a comfortable range if you're Louisiana.
They do have a kick return for a touchdown this year. But that was from Chris Smith, who got hurt earlier in the game and is not returned. Eric Guerrer is back there. He has an 83-yard punt return for a touchdown this year. That's Jacob Bernard, who is going to be the other deep man here. Billy Napier is over here talking with the officials along the near sideline.
I think what he's discussing is that when Shai Wirtz put that hand down, was he considered down as if play over with? But I think you can hold yourself up if you put a hand down. They won't consider that a body part. If it's an elbow, he's down. Shin, maybe he's down, but not the hand
Even
that kept
the
him
forearm,
up. Yeah, the forearm, yeah, he would have called him down.
Yep.
Elbow, forearm, that'd have been down.
Wirtz completed his last 7 passes on a row in those last 2 possessions. It looks like just
that's just the hand that went down. I didn't see anything else. That's an outstanding play.
fair catch at the 15, so that won't take any time off the clock. 85 yards away, they can get into field goal range, but as Kirk just alluded to, that has that's been not been a guarantee by any means this year. So here goes Louisiana, trying to get to 3-0 for the first time since 1988. And Georgia Southern with the stunning drive in the final 2 minutes and the 2-point conversion to grab the lead.
We're probably going to see a lot of empty formation, right? You're going to see probably some backs get out of the backfield early on. Allow Levi Lewis to scan the field and maybe get a check down.
Lewis drops it off underneath. A lot of room for Regis to roam and get out of bounds to stop the clock.
That's the play I was worried about, was the check down. But that's an actual play in the playbook for Louisiana. Run 4 verts. Get the defense thinking and worried about the ball going deep. Throw it underneath. Nice safe throw. Another positive play to start a drive, or the game-winning drive if you're Louisiana.
Gain of 18. From their own 44, Lewis has to step out of the pocket and toss it out. And a flag down at the tail end of the play.
They could call this on a couple guys, that right side of the line.
Holding, offense number 65, 10-yard penalty, replay first half.
That's on Carlos
Rubio, the new right tackle today.
And he's in for Max Mitchell, who's the starting right tackle, who was out today. And now you got Carlos Rubio in there, and he just grabs a hold and throw out. So if you do have the redshirt junior in there, do you keep a tight end to help him out here? You're trying to get everybody out on a route, but and a guy who's making his first start, I would think that you want to help out.
41 seconds, and it sets them back to their own 34-yard line. And a timeout for Georgia Southern, so that is their last one. Don't forget that tomorrow night is Game 6 of the Eastern Conference Finals between the Celtics and the Heat. It will all start with NBA Countdown at 6:30 on ESPN, ESPN Deportes, and ESPN app. That game will come your way at 7:30. Can the Celtics even the series? Got a big night last night from Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown.
I just want a split screen during the game of the Celtics and Heat playing, and then a picture of Paul Pierce. Paul Pierce is wearing his Celtic green on his sleeve throughout the game. He's been a joy to watch in the pregame and the halftime and the postgame stuff, but Game 6, it can go either way. I'm just hoping for a Game 7. That'd be fun.
These are primarily freshman and sophomore receivers here for Louisiana. We have not seen Peter LeBlanc return since an injury earlier in the half. Where does Levi Lewis look? 41 seconds to go. Against four-man pressure, offensive line buying him all day. Steps up and fires incomplete behind his man at midfield. That was Caleb Carter.
It's a nice job by Georgia Southern defensively. They've got a spy, okay? So they're designating one guy to spy Levi Lewis. If he escapes the pocket, you're going to have everybody else playing man coverage. They're going to rush four, and they'll keep one guy as a spy to watch Lewis if he gets out of the pocket.
Only three guys coming this time. Lewis out across the 45-yard line. The catch is made by Errol Rogers, who had the touchdown grab earlier. Down to 20 seconds and counting. And the timeout at the 17-second mark.
It's a huge
timeout. Louisiana, they're first. It'll be 30 seconds. Game clock operator, please reset the game clock to 20 seconds. 2-0 on the clock, please.
Oh, a big 3 seconds going back on the clock.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Big call there. You got a bunch of that yardage back. You get to this 3rd and long here. Everything is already is 4-down territory. They're just trying to get in the field goal range, but where is a comfortable field goal range?
Yeah.
Beth, I would ask you that. I'm thinking, what's comfortable right now for Nate Snyder, the field goal kicker?
His long on the season was earlier today at 34, but he has missed 4 other kicks through the first 3 games.
So they need to get this inside the 20-yard. They got to get it at least, what, to the 25?
Probably to the 25 to give Snyder a chance.
So you look where the ball is at now, so you need a big play. And again, if I'm...
Even then, though, if you're Billy Napier, do you want to win it with Nate Snyder or Levi Lewis?
I want to win it
with a throw to the end zone.
I want to win it with my quarterback, but the probability is if you're a defender for Georgia Southern, I'm playing top down. Top down defenses. Yep. I am not letting anybody behind me. You're going to have to make a catch and a play in front of me. It's going to be a little bit harder to score a touchdown here. More likely a field goal opportunity for Louisiana if they can convert.
Couple of timeouts. 20 seconds. Showing blitz, then they pull back. Regis has some room. Got the first down and runs out of bounds inside the 40. Down to the 36-yard line. 14 seconds to play.
Yeah, busted coverage there. That time, Anthony Wilson, the strong safety, he doesn't keep his eyes on Regis. Regis is in the backfield. You think he's going to block. He gets out in the route, and he's wide open. Just a busted coverage there by Georgia Southern.
Lewis, just a quick Nearly snagged with one hand by Lacey, but incomplete. 10 seconds to play.
Still got 2 timeouts. I mean, you can utilize the whole field. If I'm Louisiana, I may try to attack the middle of the field. You're throwing to the outside, and I get it, but this may be your final play before you have enough time to kick the field goal. So why not try to work the entire field? Ball's in the left hash. I try to make sure you get something maybe coming back across the field or in the middle of the field.
Levi Lewis has to step up in the pocket. Throwing it into the end zone, incomplete. Broken up by Georgia Southern, 2 seconds to play. That was Javon Singletary on the coverage.
Anytime I see an official with his hat off, that always tells me maybe a wide receiver stepped out of bounds.
So they're going to give Nate Snyder a chance to be the hero with 2 seconds left.
No timeouts for Georgia Southern.
53-yard attempt for Nate Snyder. And what a moment for a guy who has struggled mightily through the first 3 games.
Timeout. Louisiana, their second. It'll be 30 seconds.
Louisiana calls the timeout.
Nice little breather now. It was a play clock was going down.
They didn't want to push Nate back any further.
Remember, it was just think about everything that was going on. You had the play down in the end zone. You're kind of griping about, was it a pass interference? Was it not? Then you got to look alive. You rush the field goal team out there, and the play clock's going down. So you're rushing everything. Good timeout here by Billy Napier. And now just everybody relax. Just, first of all, think about the operation. Snap, hold, kick. That's what should be what everyone's talking about.
What do you do with a guy who's struggling? Well, Billy Napier talked to us about all week how great his teammates have been to Nate Snyder. The coaching staff has been to Nate Snyder. He's a grad transfer from Indiana, came here because he loved to play and wanted an opportunity to kick here. Has had his misses, has had his moments, and the team has been picking him up and boosting his spirits all week long, knowing that this might be a possibility and he might have a chance. 53-yarder for the win here for Louisiana. Kick is on its way from Snyder. He's got the leg. It is good. Nate Snyder.
That's the ball game. The final score. Louisiana.
Redemption in red for the Ragin' Cajuns.
Louisiana wins.
20-18, the win for Louisiana off the leg of the recently maligned Nate Snyder, and not anymore.
I just talked about everything. It's snap, it's hold, it's kick. The operation, flawless. The kick was flawless. And Coach Napier, he talked about it to us, Beth. What did he say? There's a quiet confidence about us. In these situations, last week in overtime, the week before that at Iowa State, they've been in these situations before, and you see that quiet confidence on that kick by Snyder. Once he hit it, he knew he got it. Outstanding comeback win for Louisiana.
Have yourself a Nate night. You've earned it. 3-0 for Louisiana for the first time since 1988.
So much to think about. You talk about the kick, but let's go back to the senior quarterback, right? Levi Lewis getting him down and the opportunity, the throws that he made, the second down throw, and then the third down throw. Just you put the quarterback that you trust in these moments, in these situations. He delivered just like he did last week. Outstanding performance by Levi Lewis, the senior quarterback, setting his team up.
After Georgia Southern had grabbed the lead with 54 seconds to play, Lewis engineers the drive to get Nate Snyder a chance, and he comes through. He's with Dawn.
Yeah, Nate Snyder, wow, take a deep breath. What was going through your head on that kick after some struggles early today?
Yeah, just, a slow start of the season. The team is believing in me, picked me up at halftime. Really, I just want to go out there and prove to my team that I'm here for a reason and, just kind of make it up to them because I missed a couple kicks this season that I should have missed. So I knew, I'd go out there and make the kick. I just have to have some confidence out there. So, all the guys on the team coming up to me before the kick telling me, you got this, man. You've done it in practice 100 times. Like, that helped pick me up.
What was the conversation with Coach prior to that decision to let you go kick it?
There wasn't one. That's Coach Napier's great. He just kind of lets me be, believes in me. That's a huge part, especially when I'm struggling, kind of give me some confidence back. So there really wasn't one. I was kind of left alone, and that helped a lot. The guys in my position group were helping me get ready, holding the ball for me, snapping for me. So it was really easy.
3-0, congratulations. Thanks, Nate.
Thank you.
Guys.
You got the stash in Duval, you got the beard in Miami, and you got the goatee in Lafayette, folks. Nate Snyder wins it at the buzzer, 20-18, the final. I'm Beth Mowens, along with Kirk Morrison and Don Davenport. Thanks for being with us in a thriller in Lafayette today.